welcome back to Vanircreations tutorials. Today we're going to be learning how to make this mooncatcher. This is just going to be the first part of how to make this. So this, what you see now, is the first phase of what this is going to look like. When it's finished, it's going to have like crystals and probably a crystal from the top, and then lots of like macrame pattern on the bottom. But because it's such a big piece, I've decided to cut this one into two parts. So part 2 will probably be next week. So make sure you subscribe, and then next week you will see that episode. To make this macrame wall hanging, you'll need around 30 meters of 4mm blue string. You'll need around 30 meters of pink 4mm pink string. You'll need around 1 kilogram of natural string in 5mm. You'll need some craft wire. You probably need about 2 meters of that. I'd go for 1mm. You'll need some blue beads, some natural beads, some crystals, some thick thread, some scissors, and a glue gun. And you'll also need a 27-inch MDF moon hoop, now back in stock on the website. For the first part of the tutorial, you'll need to wrap your moon hoop. So this one is the 27-inch moon hoop sold on the website, which I'll link down below. And I've got my 5mm natural string. I'm going to tie that on the end. So I'll show you here. So I'm just tying it in a normal overhand knot. Ooh. So twist round, literally just an ordinary knot, as you can see there. And then I'm going to start wrapping. So I'll show you closely. The good thing about using the 5mm natural string is it covers a bigger area, so you're not having to wrap your hoops for quite as long. So just carry on wrapping your hoop like that. While I'm wrapping hoops, I like to watch YouTube, normally Bailey Syrian or true crime. I'd love to know what you guys watch on YouTube, because that is basically what I do all day while making dream catchers, is watch YouTubers and people who talk about true crime and things like that. So I'd love to know what you guys watch on YouTube. Please comment down below and let me know. Just make sure when you get to around this point that you are pushing your string up at the bottom, because otherwise your string will start going like this. You want it to be like in a line going all the way down and not diagonal. So how you do that is you wrap. Ooh, it's hard to do this while you're trying to show the camera. You wrap around, and then you push the bottom bits up that way slightly, only slightly, because if you do it slightly every 3, I just push it up slightly, it will just carry on that lovely straight shape. when you come to the end here, just go around and then just tie it off. Get your scissors. Probably best not to leave them across the room, like me. And then cut that. And tie on like so. And then you've got your full moon shape. For the next part, you need to glue down your ends. So what you're going to do is just undo that knot that you've just done. Just trying to make the camera focus on here. And do like a slight line of glue here. Put glue gun down and then wrap around that glue. Try not to burn yourself, it's very easy to burn yourself with a glue gun. And then chop off any ends. I really need some new scissors, they're not really sharp enough anymore. And then, just glue down them ends. Please just ignore the crazy concentration faces that I pull. Oh, there you go, all glued down. Now for the next side. And there we go, boom, boom, done. For the web, you're going to need your thick white string. So how I start my dreamcatcher, well, my mooncatcher web, is I tie my thick thread in a double overhand knot. Actually, I tie it probably about 4 times in a very tight overhand knot. And then what I do is I measure. Oop. So yeah, you'll need a ruler. So measure about, say about 8 centimetres. 8 centimetres, yeah. I normally do it by eye, but if you want to get, if it's your first time and you want exact measurements, I'm going to do it by 8 centimetres. So, what you're doing is, you're going round the back your mooncatcher and then round the front, and then you go through the loop. So it's the exact same as a normal dreamcatcher, but you just stop when you get to the end rather than keep going round like a dreamcatcher. So again, you go around the back, through the loop, and you pull. Round the back, and then back through the loop that you've made. Doing the way that I'm doing it is just to show you guys, this is just to show you guys how it's done. But I would normally like do this while I'm watching a film. Or watching YouTube. I like to watch a lot of true crime on YouTube. I would love to know what you guys watch on YouTube, if you can comment down below. Because I watch a lot. All day, every day, while I'm making these. Although I do have a life and not just make dream catchers and nothing else. Right, so then when you get to this bit, tie another knot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go round, and then I'm going to go back through this loop here. And I'm going to do that about 3 times. So then that's really tight there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go just like a normal dream catcher. We're going to go back round and go through these loops here. So I'm going to go through this loop and out, pull, and then pull that down through this loop and out, pull, and just keep going. And then when you get to this side again, you're going to go round and through and pull up, and then go round again and then make a loop and put it through. So you're just literally tying a knot at the end basically, without cutting the thread off. And now I'm going to cut the thread off. Now I'm going to cut the thread off. So then cut these little loose threads off. What I've done is I've beaded, well, I've added beads to the thick white thread. So I've done 2 small natural ones and then a big blue. They're all wooden beads. You can do as many as you like in whatever colour that you feel. So what I'm going to do now, I've got these on my thread, is I'm gonna tie it onto the end of my moon catcher like this, just as we did before. And then you're just gonna thread it through just like you did before. Oh, missed one out there, so go back. Make sure you get every single segment, so pull this one out and go through. Pull this one up and go through. Don't worry about the beads, you can thread them through later on. Turn around, pull this one up, thread that through. Pull this one up, go through and up. And then you're just doing your usual weaving of the web. If you can hear the dog in the background, he's running around because of the dog outside. And then come to this part. And tie it off. Just go around and then back through the loop. Do that 3 times. lot easier when you sat down. Right, so then you've got, I'm just going to put my little thread here, pop it there like that, and then I'm going to put all these beads where I want them. So you literally just thread them through like this. So as you can see with my beads, I've kept them in a group of 3, and I've done the same 3 for each part of the mooncatcher, and it just creates this nice shape that I quite like. And then now that your beads are in the right places, pull out your web again. Don't worry if the beads don't stay in the exact same place, because you can always like thread them through again. Like, don't worry if they move place. I definitely move them again at the end when I put them exactly where I want them. And then just keep weaving. I'm just going to go into a time lapse. Add another layer of beads. So now I've added some more beads, as you can see, and I'm going to tie them on the same way as before. I'm just going to do it the exact same way as I did it before, so if you want to see it again, please rewind. I'm adding my lengths of string to the base of my moon, but I'm going to leave a bit of space in the centre. So if I measure that for you, that is about 6 inches, which is probably about 14 centimetres. So that's just going to be completely bare, because that's where I'm going to add my crystals at the end. So I'm going to get a piece of string, and this is going to be around 3 meters long, put it in half, and then add it to your moon base, doing an overhead, sorry, not an overhead, a reverse lark's head knot. So go round the back of it, and then pass this through your loop. And then again, get another piece, another length, 3 meters, fold it in half, go around the back of your moon base, and then just add with a reverse overhead knot, and then just make sure that that is in the centre. So to the eye, I'm going to re-add that one actually. The other side. So yeah, so there's going to be like a space in the middle, and here I'm going to stick the crystals later on, but you'll see that later on in the tutorial. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go slightly shorter every time and keep adding string. I'll show you that in a time lapse now. For the lengths that you're adding to the bottom of your mooncatcher, start with the 3 meters, do 5 to one side of your middle part and 5 to the other. Then do 2 groups of 4, but make it 10 centimeters shorter this time, and then keep doing that. So keep doing groups of 4 to each side, because obviously you've got one side of the mooncatcher and one side of the mooncatcher, and in the middle is where we're going to put the crystals. So do your groups of 4, and then every time just go up another 10 centimeters and just make it slightly shorter. You can do it by eye if you want to, that's how I do it, or you can measure. It's totally up to you. And then just keep going right to the sides of the mooncatcher base. So as you can see with the lengths, I've started long and I've gone shorter. So now we're going to fill in this centre part right here. Firstly, I'm going to do a square knot here. So get the centre 2 cords, pass this one over these 2 middle ones and under the first. And then this one is going to go over this one and behind these 2 here and pull up. Then we do the opposite way. So you do the number 4, this piece goes over and then under, and this piece goes right under and through this loop here. And we're going to do the same on this side. So we're going to do 2 in the centre, this goes over and under, and this piece is going to go right under, right through the back and through there. And we're going to do it again. Number 4, this one goes over, I grab it with this hand, this one goes under, then I grab it with this hand, through and up, and that's how you do a square knot. Now I'm going to grab these 2 pieces in the centre and I'm going to do just a normal overhand knot. So you've got that shape. And now I'm going to cut my lengths as long as the 2 you started with. So these 2 here, as long as they are, I'm going to cut, and I'm going to fill all of this with them lengths. So how I'm adding this to the bottom of the Dreamcatcher is just with, again, a reverse lark's head. So I'll put them over and pull that through. If you'd like to see the next part of this tutorial, part 2, please subscribe and it'll be coming next week. Thank you so much for watching, it really does mean the world to me. I can't wait to make many more tutorials in the future. Yeah, so see you next time. Bye! Hello, my name's Rebecca. I'm weird.